conference round of the NFL playoffs. We are down to
Er,
two games this week. Um, quick recap last week. Obviously the elephant in the room of the show, my Eagles, Smitty's Eagles,
Yep.
Richie's Giants. Richie told us his Giants would cover. He actually told us they'd win.
He said that to me at the bowling alley.
Now he has his hat on, his fedora. He's ready to hit Boca Raton, and the offseason has begun. What do you have to say for yourself, Richie?
It was a gamble, Life's a gamble, and that was a gamble I took. I'm a Giants fan. That's all I got to say. That's why I'm wearing this hat, baby. Life's a gamble.
All right, it's a gamble. That's the quote the man on it. Quote the man on it. It's a gamble. So some news, some NFL news before we roll into our games here. I guess the biggest news would be, as of recording, it sounds like Frank Reich is going to be the Panthers head coach. The only other news off the top of my head, really, that's been big. You got Bill O'Brien landing back in the Patriots. I believe he was their O coordinator in 05 to like 09. Nathaniel Hackett, former head coach of the Broncos, former offensive coordinator for the Packers, Jaguars, bunch of teams. He's landing in New York with the Jets. He's their new OC. That's kind of the news in quick for the week. You guys have any comments on any of that?
I don't know. I don't know if you said it. I'm kind of blanked out there, but I just seen something that what is it? Dan Quinn, the defense coordinator for the Cowboys, right?
What about him?
I saw something that he said that he's staying. He interviewed at Arizona and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he said he was staying last year and he stayed, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, obviously there's jobs open. We're just starting to see second rounds come to fruition. Guys getting brought back for their second interviews. So I mean, I feel like maybe this is just the first year I'm like super into it, but I feel like I've been for a couple years. I feel like there was a ton of interviews, like so many. I feel like there were teams that had 15 plus interviews. Just seemed weird. I don't know. I feel like it's never been like that. I feel like you've had your typical 5 to 7 kind of thing. Who knows? I think the big speculation of the week is with Hackett landing in New York with the Jets. Is that possibly a landing spot if the Packers were to move on from Aaron Rodgers and Rodgers said, "Hey, I still want to play football." Would that be a potential landing spot? I don't know. We're not here to speculate. I mean, we can give our doofus opinions, but you have anything on any news this week, Richie? It was a great season for your Giants. I said Brian Dable's a good coach from the get-go,
You're muted.
Yeah, you're muted, buddy. We can't hear you.
That doesn't happen often, but yeah, I think he should be coach of the year in my eyes.
No, he shouldn't be.
I think he should be, honestly. I mean,
He should be a finalist. He should be a finalist.
Yeah, from last year to this year, I mean, look at the just flipped. Completely flipped. They made the playoffs. They beat the Minnesota Vikings in the first round, which is pretty big. They got to win.
They're the biggest pretenders in the playoffs. Let's be honest. I think everybody the Giants.
No, the Minnesota Vikings were the biggest pretenders.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Vikings,
I thought you were talking about the Giants. Yeah.
I think the unanimous opinion was that the Giants were gonna win that game, but that's just me. But I do think it's impressive what Brian Dable's done in such short time and really no roster turnover.
The future is bright. The future's bright.
Yeah, besides the fact that you have to sign Saquon Barkley, who is a major piece of your offense. Besides that, though, yeah, sure, future's bright.
Yeah.
And then after that, you got to sign the quarterback too, or figure out who's your next quarterback. So, future's bright, man. Future's bright. Besides that, I think Frank Reich has been the big news. I don't really have much of an opinion on it. I think Frank Reich's a pretty good coach. Everywhere he's been average to very good, so I don't think necessarily the problems with the Colts were his fault. he's the head coach, so he definitely is going to get blamed. But obviously we saw they didn't have a great roster. They had bad quarterback play all season. Their receivers were merely ghosts out there. You couldn't find them. Their whole season was hedged on like defense scoring points and getting the ball to Mo Alley Cox on a 2-yard quick out or giving the ball to Jonathan Taylor, and he got hurt. So it is what it is with the Colts. It is what it is with Frank Reich. I wish him the best of luck in Carolina. Let's move into our games. We have the first game, the NFC Championship. The San Francisco 49ers and Mr. Irrelevant rookie quarterback Brock Purdy and that killer defense that I told Richie was going to be there and whoop up on Dallas. They are 2.5-point dogs in Philadelphia against Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. San Fran is plus 126 on the money line. The over-under is 46.5. This is the first time I'm looking at any of the lines this week, so I gotta make it, a clear thought here. Give me Philadelphia minus 2.5. That's it's obviously a biased pick, but I love it. I'm with it. Go ahead, Richie. I know you're picking the Niners. You're muted again.
Oh, twice in one.
Oh, that doesn't happen often.
Twice.
No.
It's because I was coughing before I muted it. But yeah, I'm on the 49ers side. You know that. Philly's favored by 2.5. It's pretty much a coin flip, it looks like. But yeah, I'm gonna go overall the better team. I think San Fran, their defense is better. And their offense is better too, in my eyes. I think overall, look at their weapons. They have Debo Kittle. They have McCaffrey. They have the backup Mitchell, which is pretty good. He's been running really hard too.
Crazy seasoning.
I mean, they got Ayuk. I mean, Brock just has to throw the ball. That's all he has to do. Left and right, little screen passes, short slants. That's all he has to do. So
it's really easy. All Daniel Jones had to do is throw the ball too.
No, but dude, look at his weapons compared to these weapons. He had Darius Slayton, Hodge out there. I mean, like he had nothing compared to San Fran. San Fran is a unit. They can actually win the whole damn thing.
I'm gonna destroy all that in a second.
And I actually have a future in this. I have Kittle. I put $25 on him to win the Super Bowl MVP. 25 to win $3,000. So.
Well, that's a terrible bet considering if the Niners win the Super Bowl, it's going to be McCaffrey or Purdy that wins the MVP.
That's what you think.
Or maybe like Fred Warner or somebody, force a big fumble, gets an interception.
That's true. That could happen.
I just think Kittle's like the third guy on offense in line, but
that's fine. But I think he was the player of the game last game.
I'm not doubting you. This is your area of expertise.
I had to get good odds. So I mean, like, yeah, I could have bet McCaffrey, but what? Would have been $5 to win like 20 or whatever. Like,
yeah, I don't know what odds look like.
I want the good odds, so I bet him last week before the game. So I bet 25 to win $3,000. So that'd be a nice hit. You never know. I mean, he could if he gets 2 touchdowns and 90 yards. I mean, he could hit it. Like he could be the MVP.
Maybe, but that would also mean that
they have to make it there first. Yes,
that would also mean that Purdy threw 2 touchdowns
and he also has to beat the Eagles, which Eagles, they've been on fire all year long, and they're at home. They're good at home. I mean, Hurts is, in my eyes, MVP. So, and that's tough to say as a Giants fan, by the way. But
on that note, we'll send it up to Smitty. What do you have for this game, Ryan?
I mean, give me the Eagles with the -2 or whatever. But
2.5.
I mean, I don't think they're the better team. I think that's a bogus statement by Richie. I do think their defense is slightly better, like has a slight edge. I mean, the Eagles are leading the league in sacks. We broke a franchise record. We're like that. We get after the quarterback. 4 guys in double digits, never been done. So you gotta give us some credit there. And then after I was a little bit nervous coming in, I kind of figured that it was going to be the 49ers and the Eagles in the conference championship. But I was a little bit nervous at first. But after seeing what Brock Purdy did against Dallas, once they got pressure on him, he did not play that well. I don't think he had a good game, compared to what the rest of the season's been like for him, those 6 games or whatever in the regular season. So I think the Eagles are going to get after him. We're going to put pressure on him, and he's not going to play as well. And Dallas, all we got to do is look at film and see what Dallas did. They shut down McCaffrey and all them. They didn't really get anything going. Debo got called out by Micah Parsons for not doing shit. So, I mean, all we got to do is look what Dallas did and recreate it. And I don't think they could stop our offense. I do think they're a good defense, but we got better than CeeDee Lamb and AJ Brown. And then we have that second guy up, Devontae Smith, who's also a beast. So,
Dallas Goddard.
Best
Dallas,
weapons though. Best weapons.
Dallas Goddard.
San Fran,
Yeah.
best weapons. So
I don't think so. I think pretty evenly matched.
I think
No.
they're
No.
top I think they're top at every skill position is better than ours, but I think we have much better depth at every position than, and it's not just the Niners. I think it's every team.
I would put Cincinnati.
AJ Brown.
Nah,
I'm not
I
putting
got
Debo
San
over.
Fran. San Fran's number one, then Cincy's number two in my eyes. To be honest, I put Cincy in front of the Eagles. I put Eagles probably at 3 or 4. Yeah,
Nah.
dude, Cincy got some
Kansas
studs.
City got the worst weapons
You
with Travis
you
Kelce.
watch. You watch.
That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one.
I watch. Yeah, Cincy's number 2 though. That's all I gotta say.
So me and Smitty are on the Eagles. Richie's
San
on
Fran, baby, rooting for them.
last
You
week.
root for them all you want. You root for them Giants too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And weren't you rooting for Dallas and then San Fran whooped them?
I was rooting for. I thought Dallas had a good chance of beating them, but
And you were rooting for the Bills too.
was I rooting for the Bills? I don't remember.
I'm
Was
pretty sure you're on the Bills.
I was on the Bills. I had a bad. I went like 1 for 3 or whatever.
Yeah, you're on Kansas City. Everybody is on Kansas
Yeah.
City.
I can't blame you. I was on the Bills too. I thought they were gonna play better than they did. They played like shit. So
I know they had a rest and they're at home and they do
Peaked
that.
early in the
Like
season. They peaked
they
early.
had a snow game, a classic Buffalo Bills weather. Like
that's disgusting to me. That game was just weird. It's weird.
They peaked early in the season, man. They peaked early in the season. It's one thing you can't really defeat sometimes. We'll move into our next game, the AFC Championship. We have Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty, Joe Cool, Joe Burrow's Bengals. They're +1. Wow. I think this actually flipped like twice today.
it's been like at least 4 times within the week. So
they're the dog. The Bengals are the dog at Kansas City at Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce's Chiefs. I believe a lot of Bengals players are referring to Arrowhead Stadium. Burrowhead Stadium, because I believe Joe Burrow is 3-0 in matchups against the Kansas City Chiefs.
yeah, only one was in Arrowhead though. The other 2 were in Cincy.
Fair point. The Bengals are +102 on the money line. The over/under on this game is 47.5, 1 point more than the NFC Championship.
You're going over.
I'm not going over.
Ooh.
If you watch that, I'm scared of the weather in Kansas City. Kind of like the Bengals Bills last week. Obviously anybody looks at Bengals Bills, you immediately think over, right? I think this is another case of you're gonna think over. I think it might be one of those games where it's just frigid cold. It might scrape the over. I'm not saying it's not going over. I just don't think it's a safe over. Like we might score 48 points and cover by a half.
So what are you on? What are you on then?
I'm on the Bengals +1. I don't love it. I don't love it, but my put it this way, I'm gonna take the Bengals with the points, whatever they are, day of the game. I'm gonna hope that they go up to maybe 2. Probably won't happen. If I get 1.5, I'll be happy, because at least then at least with 1 I can get a push if they lose by 1. But honestly, if it stays at 1 day of, I might just go money line. I'll get it at like +100. Instead.
Mm-hmm.
Bengals to win. We'll see. I'm on the Bengals. Just put it that way. We'll see what the points look like, but I'm on the Bengals. What do you think, Ryan? Go ahead, Smitty.
Yeah. I mean, this one's such a tough game in my opinion. I really want to go. I want to go Kansas City, but I don't know how lingering that injury is that Mahomes had. Now they're saying it's not affecting him. I don't know. It looked pretty rough in the game. He was hopping around and stuff. They're gonna shoot it up, I guess, but you never know. He gets a hit again. You just don't know. He seems like It's going to be a weird one for him. So I think I'm just going to go Cincy with the points. But I will say if Mahomes is healthy, I think Kansas City will win. But I don't think he's going to be, and I think give me Cincinnati with the points.
All right, down to you, Richie.
Yeah, I'm on the other side again. I like Kansas City at home. Yeah, since he does play good away, but I think Kansas City is just, they're not gonna let it happen again. This is a team that's been good on offense pretty much all year round, and I think that the best quarterback is at quarterback on KC. So
I think the Bengals are a very motivated team, and I think they've proven that for like weeks now.
yeah, I already bet a money line though, like last week. I got a -116, so I just got a money line. They just got to win the game, so that has to happen.
So let's think hypothetically. Super Bowl matchups. Every quarterback obviously is in the play for the MVP. I would think everybody's tailback, with the exception of maybe Kansas City,
Yeah.
would also be in the running. I would think Travis Kelce would be in the running as the Chiefs' top receiver. I would think Chase would be in the running as Bengals' top receiver. I would think it's a tough one with Philadelphia. I would think I actually very much think AJ Brown and Devontae Smith would be even, and maybe even Goddard. I think
I could see that.
I think the Eagles' receiving corps is kind of spread. It's kind of like pick your choice. And like you pointed out earlier, Richie, I would think Kittle, Debo would probably be the top choice for San Fran. On the defensive side of the ball, I think there are some guys who can have the possibility of winning. I think in Philadelphia, I think there's a very good chance you could pull somebody from that defensive line, maybe Hassan Reddick, maybe Javon Hargraves, who knows. I think there's a chance you could find, maybe a defensive back in Philadelphia that could be in play for it. I think on the same thing could be said with Cincinnati. I think you could find a defensive back that could be in the running. I think
Not Eli Apple. That guy stinks.
Oh, here, listen, we gotta address this, man. We gotta address this. Eli
I
Apple.
hope Mahomes exposes him. And if he
What
doesn't get exposed, he makes it to the Super Bowl against the Eagles.
Hold on,
I
hold
hope
on.
AJ Brown stuns him.
Take it easy, Smitty. Take it easy, Smitty. Calm down. Hold on. For those that aren't aware, Eli Apple, like known trash talker in the league, known trash talker. I believe he was like either the 7th overall pick in his draft, 9th overall pick. I don't remember exactly. I don't even remember where he got drafted actually. But he's been with a couple different teams. I know he spent time in New Orleans. He's been on the Bengals now for, I think this is his 2nd season. He's a known shit talker. The big controversial tweet that he launched out was, I can't remember exactly what the quote was, but at the end of it, it was something about like Boca Raton plane tickets, something talking about the Bills going home in the playoffs, and he put like the heart at the end that DeMar was doing like the whole week, and people were pissed off about that. And he came out and said that, he didn't intend it that way. He understands how people took it that way, and he apologized for it. But then afterwards, he started going crazy. I mean, he was running down Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, anybody you could think of, and then it didn't stop there. So the rest of the league started chirping back just unanimously everywhere. You could pick any division in the NFL. There's somebody has tweeted about Eli Apple from that division. Me and Smitty were talking about a couple days ago, Eagles and Cowboys players going back and forth, talking about how much they hate Eli Apple. Like,
Yeah.
it's a enemy of my enemies is my friend kind of situation.
he was on the Giants. He was on the Giants.
He was on the Giants. Did the Giants draft him? I kind of think the Giants might draft him.
No.
Who drafted Eli Apple? I don't know, and I don't feel like looking it up.
I'd be glad that you guys don't have him anymore because that guy stinks.
Wait, no, they did draft him.
I
He wasn't even supposed to start on Cincinnati. Cincinnati got somebody hurt, and he's been filling in.
He was on the Saints too.
Yeah, I know he was on the Saints because that was like the known best trash talking secondary for the last couple years was like
Roby guy.
CJ Gardner-Johnson, Eli Apple.
He started on the Giants, went to the Saints, went to the Cincy. Yeah.
I think he was with a fourth team. I kind of think though. Anyway, off track. He's been going back and forth all over the place. People hate him. He did last year. There was a play that stuck out when they beat Kansas City, where it was on the 1 yard line. A lot of people were saying the Chiefs should have ran the ball, looked to get it to Kelsey or something quickly. They had Tyreek 1-on-1 with Eli Apple outside 1 yard line. They threw like a little scat pass. Eli Apple kept them short. It was a big play down the line in the game. I think that's a little bit like that momentum, that I was talking about. This team they got hot at the right times. They're a motivated team. They're pissed off about the whole, neutral site thing. They think they deserve to, host a game. They think they were pissed that they were already selling pre-neutral site tickets if it was Chiefs Bills down in Atlanta. I believe they were going to play it. They're a very motivated team, and I think that goes a long way, especially at this time of the year. With that being said, my Super Bowl prediction would be Philadelphia versus Cincinnati. What do you have, Smitty?
I got Philly versus Cincinnati. I could see it being the Chiefs though, but yeah, and I actually, like Richie said earlier, he took Kittle to be Super Bowl MVP. I already took Jalen Hurts Super Bowl MVP, but it was only like plus 300. But I took it already because that's my guy. He's gonna get it done.
Now, obviously, me both have Philly over Cincinnati in the Super Bowl. What do you have in the Super Bowl, and who do you have winning it, Richie?
I got San Fran versus. That's so tough. That game is so tough. I already bet KC. I like KC. I think at home they're gonna win this game. So yeah, I think they're gonna have some trick plays. They're gonna have a lot of trick plays. I feel like KC. They
always do.
This is where their books gonna come out right now. They knew they were gonna make it this far. This is where their books. Some weird players coming out with Tony and stuff like that. But yeah, I got KC versus San Fran, and San Fran upset them.
What are they gonna be nursing that ankle?
Don't matter. Patrick Mahomes is different. That man can throw left-handed and probably still win. That's a fact.
Fair point. Any closing words, Smitty, for the day? Any closing words?
No, not really. I don't know if you heard it before, but you said San Fran's top guy is better than every one of our top guys.
That's fact.
Well, not quarterback, so that's just wrong.
I do agree with
that. I said weapons. I said weapons.
But,
weapons.
And I can't put Debo.
Yeah, no, it's not.
What? How is he not?
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is a weapon.
Some games he's the best runner on the field. How's he not?
Yeah. Yeah. What do you? That's ridiculous.
No, he's not a weapon.
Nonsense. I think in one game he had like 3 rushing touchdowns.
Who else are you taking? Who are you taking over who in the weapons? Weapons. Go ahead. Like
I'm going AJ Brown over Debo.
AJ Brown over Debo?
Yeah.
No, you're smoking.
I think he had more yards than him this season.
Tough.
Okay.
Tough. Well, yeah, but Debo
touchdowns maybe.
I will say, I'm an advocate that Debo didn't really start playing until like 2 weeks left in the season. So
he was hurt, man.
But the Niners were good before they didn't need Debo. They were good. They were mowing everybody down. They won like 7 straight games at the end of the year. So.
Yeah, and what did he do in the Dallas game? Not shit.
He didn't have to do much. He had McCaffrey. That's all.
The whole offense didn't do much. The defense kept him in their ball game.
Unbiased. Arguably, AJ Brown did nothing last week against the Giants either. So
yeah, but he was hurt.
Did you see Debo last year? He carried the team on his back.
All right, that's last year. This is new year.
You're about to see him this week. Probably.
Right. I ain't worried about it.
I think that's a toss-up. I think the reason maybe I would take Debo over AJ Brown would be because of the versatility.
He can do everything
we've seen with Debo, but who's to say AJ Brown can't do that? He just hasn't had the opportunity. But
he doesn't have the sticks.
I mean, he might not have the sticks, but he's a big guy. He's a tough.
I'm saying come down to a last play, and I'm throwing a fade in the end zone. I'm throwing it to AJ Brown, not Debo.
I'm taking Debo.
Now, see that's where I'd take AJ Brown because he's just bigger body. He's gonna just go up better.
Yeah,
better route runner. I'm taking Debo.
He got better paws on him.
See, like
Better
Paul-
route runner though.
bro, there's not much better route runners under 20.
All right, we'll have to see. We'll have to see it. This is the week. All right, this is the week. Sam Fran versus
See, you were
the
wrong
Eagles,
last
right?
week. You were wrong last week in the NFC. We'll see.
All right, we'll see what happens this week. I'll text you after the game. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
we'll wrap it up. We'll see you next week for the oh, I guess it won't be next week. It's not till the Super Bowl. Wow, I didn't think about that. All right, great. Well, we'll see you at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.